In this video, I'm going to talk about action research. Action research is about process improvement, so it's about reflection and action. I like to conduct research on my courses because I feel like it improves the quality of my courses. In every one of my courses, I have journal entries staged at different points. These are to allow me to get a student perspective of the course, of their learning experience, of what's going on within the course, something that I may not be perceiving. I also keep a reflective journal, which is my own perspective of how things are working as compared to how I thought they would work when I designed them. So at the end of the course, I take all of this information and I conduct a qualitative analysis. If the purpose of the action research is solely to improve the course, then I'm not required to do an internal review board, so that would be for publication. I do like to do research on my courses for publication as well in order to share knowledge. If I do that, then I am required to do an internal review board, which approves the research, and then get student consent. So I do have a publication that will be published shortly. And this publication is related to an undergraduate course that I did research on. One of the cool things about doing action research is that part of it you're required to do an investigation of the topic that you're investigating. So this particular publication that I'm talking about, I was investigating active learning for knowledge construction in the online environment. So the problem that I encountered was that when teaching in the face-to-face environment, active learning is about learning by doing, about peer construction of knowledge. It's very interactive with the individual. Active learning, as you all know, has been considered one of the most effective forms of transfer of learning. So I'm an online professor, and one of the things that I wanted to do was capture the positive qualities of active learning from the face-to-face courses and transfuse some of that into the online courses to improve students' experiences and in particular the transfer of knowledge. So this particular publication, I was looking at an equivalent experience between the face-to-face environment and the online environment. And the publication is about the outcomes of that research. So I took the outcomes and I put it back into my next round of courses. So that would be a more formal approach to action learning in the higher education environment. And obviously the less formal would be if I was trying to use the information to improve the course, but I'm not sharing the knowledge through publication. One of the advantages of sharing the knowledge through publication is that it allows us to collaborate on best practices and great ideas on how and what didn't work. So, like I said, the active learning for knowledge construction model was developed by Koohang, and this particular model, it's great. It's a young model, so it needs more research and development in order to improve it, but it really capitalizes on the priorities of the online students, which are uniquely different from the face-to-face students. So going back to action research, the idea of action research is to create process improvement. What I have found is that when I create a course, 50% of it is going to work exactly how I thought it was going to work. And 50% of it, this is the first time around, 50% of it's going to need to be reworked. And as you rework it, 50% of the rework is not going to work the way you thought it would. So it's because when you make a change, you anticipate how something's going to work. So it has cascading effects within the course. And sometimes when you fixed one problem, you created another problem. So the process of improving a course design is cyclical and it's continuous. So it's a continuous loop. You fix this, you find this. You fix this, you find this. It is an interesting process, something I really like. And if you get into human resource development programs, training and development, the concept of process improvement is going to be an important process. It's called closing the loop. You're continuously closing the loop, making the loop smaller and smaller and smaller. So it is, interestingly enough, a systems approach to improving courses, but action research in and of itself, I really enjoy action research, and it is something that I strongly encourage each of you to consider if you do decide to get into training and development.